Hi, I'm Deborah Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records, bringing you an afterlife conversation with James Baldwin. In honor of Black History Month, I invited James, writer and civil rights activist, to my studio for an afterlife conversation. I was inspired to speak with James after seeing his work featured by the journalist Jonathan Capehart. I knew little about James, only that there was something about his face, a haunted look, and I wanted to know more. James delivered more than I could have hoped. He was both astonishing and a joy. I'm honored to share our conversation with you. Now, be sure to stick around until the end for the story behind the story, because James brought some surprising revelations. Hello, James. It's a pleasure to meet you. It feels as if we were destined to meet. Your energy is incredibly compelling. Would you please tell me about yourself and what, if anything, you'd like to share with the world? Oh, yes, I have many thoughts. There's a great deal to remark upon. Things in your world have certainly not gone in the direction I anticipated they would go. It's sad to see the hard-won achievements of the civil rights movement being cavalierly eroded and discarded by those with hatred in their hearts. I ask you to be wise. Do not return their hatred. Allow them to stew in their own juices, for that karmic boomerang will surely bring hatred back around. It could even hit them between the eyes, perhaps knocking them out, allowing time to consider why they've been so hateful and destructive. But it's all about fear. Ultimately, when one human strikes out at another like that, it's about fear. Those poor white men who have been in power all their lives, plus generations of their family, cannot face the truth that things are changing on planet Earth. Soon the black man will outnumber the white. That terrifies them down to the tips of their toes. Most will not admit that. They think it makes them less than manly, but some will. The ones who are at least willing to talk about it are the ones you have a chance at getting through to, helping them to get past their fears so they can see that we are all children of the one Creator, and our path is one of love, peace, and joy. No matter how far they've fallen down into the abyss, they can come back out at any time. They can reverse course, admitting to themselves the tragic mistake they've made, and begin to make amends. That is not really so hard if one is willing to humble themselves and apologize. Therein lies the rub. Their egos, many of them, will not admit they were wrong. Some are so set on their course that they will go to their grave championing this losing cause. Tragic, really, when you look at it. What a waste of a good life. My heart breaks for my brothers and sisters of the Alternative Lifestyle Coalition. Some were lulled into complacency, thinking the travesties of the past were dead and gone. That in this new age, they were free to be whomever they chose. It was oh so sweet, but it was oh so short. A time will come again when you will be free to be yourself. For many, it will not be in this lifetime, but take heart. You are strong. You have gotten used to working hard and waiting for life to deliver a more open-minded community that loves and accepts you just as you are. In my life as James, there were many blessings. I was able to achieve a certain level of respect and authority. I was privileged to be a part of the civil rights movement. I had many opportunities to work elbow to elbow with some of the finest people who have ever lived. For that, I'm deeply grateful. It probably wouldn't surprise you to know that we maintain contact on this side. We are most decidedly detached from the results. However, our interest still lies in monitoring the cultural changes of your world. We have great hope that one day there will be a massive tidal wave that sweeps across the earth, a wave of transformation that will not be denied until the many open their eyes and see the truth of the oneness of all. the equality springing from Creator themselves, and how wrong they were to purport that divine Creator had made a mistake. For if you believe it's possible for divine Creator to make a mistake, then you are denying omnipotence, the truth of who Creator is. How then would they deserve your commitment, loyalty, and love if they were as fallible as humanity? No, my friends, I tell you, the world would not exist as it does were Creator fallible. Creation hinges on Creator being omnipotent. Just because you don't like what you're hearing doesn't mean Creator is wrong. And would you really put your own opinions and beliefs in opposition to Creator? Yes, you could do that, but what a foolish choice. What a waste of a good lifetime. There are some fights not worth having. Now, the fight for equality, equal rights, that's a fight worth having. And if you are passionate about those causes, then I encourage you to give everything you can to the cause, working diligently towards making positive changes in equality and opportunity for all. Oh, please, if you could find it in your heart to send some love to the downtrodden, both here in the U.S. and abroad, especially those third world countries where death and disease are the norm and life expectancy is dismal. If you could spare some compassion for those less fortunate than you, if you could spare a little time or resources to share with them, then I entreat you, step up, do what you can. The blessings you receive from stepping forward, offering yourself to make the world a better place, far outweigh anything that you would be asked to share or participate in. Thank you, James. I feel your big, beautiful heart. That's a blessing. When I look at pictures of you, it feels to me as if you were a haunted soul. Is that the case, or is that my imagination? You are not wrong. You might say I had many monkeys on my back. I didn't exactly fit in. My thoughts, my dreams, my aspirations were different from others like me. I was restless, could not be satisfied with a normal life, and my attraction was towards men. That's how I was made. I make no apologies. Of course, I can safely say that now that I'm over here. In present-day America, one might risk their life by declaring such a thing. What a sad state of affairs that is. To have come so close to creating a world of equality, and then to have it all flushed down the drain in the blink of an eye. The hatred, the cruelty, the power-hungry megalomaniacs who would happily crush their followers under their heel once they got what they wanted from them. Poor blind fools, unable to see that you are being used. You are a temporary convenience, and the moment you are no longer of any use, they will throw you on the rubbish pile with all the others they previously discarded. There is no loyalty to anyone outside of themselves. It's a very dog-eat-dog world. It could have been so different, and it will be one day, but today is not that day. It is a tragedy. Have you incarnated again since your life as James? No, the time is not right for me to return. There is no hurry. That does not mean I have retired from supporting causes I believe in. There are plenty of opportunities on this side to support those causes that are important to us, to advocate from this side. There's much we can and do offer in that regard, so that when the day comes that we are ready to return, the world will be a kinder, more accepting place, more fitting for the children of an omnipotent, glorious Creator. Humanity has much to learn with regard to exploring the internal worlds of their soul. Understanding, expanding their consciousness, stepping into their divine soul purpose at a highly accelerated level that they might create massive ripples in the pond. No playing small the next time. So you see, There is much work to be done before considering a return trip. Of course, the world may be very different by the time a soul decides to return. The variables are endless, but you will remember that when you have your own opportunity to return and begin considering your next lifetime. There's no judgment from Creator on how long a soul needs between lifetimes. There's no judgment from Creator on how any soul chooses to spend their incarnation. It's all about the journey and the consciousness expansion. That's the priority. The glorious opportunity that a corporeal lifetime affords you. If only you remembered that and took advantage of the opportunity, your world would be a very different place. What about your work, James? Are you satisfied with the work that you did while you were here? And how do you feel about the way you're viewed by present generations? Reflecting back upon my body of work, I'd have to say I am satisfied. Could I have done more? Of course. But life is about living, not simply toiling. So, in the time I was allotted, I believed that I did enough to leave a mark, and I can be satisfied with that. I can be satisfied with the people whose lives connected with mine, who had experiences with joy, frustration, challenge, breakthroughs, and adventures. I lived a full and complex life. That feels mighty good. So no regrets from me. Who knows? Next time when I return, I may choose an entirely different profession. I may choose to come back as a woman. None of those things have been decided yet, and none of them need be decided today. I have all the time in the world to make my choices and create a plan before jumping back on the reincarnation train for another trip around the world. Is there anything else you'd like to say, James? I am at peace. I am fulfilled. I'm in love with my life. What more could any soul ask for? And my wish for you is that when all is said and done, you can say the same. Thank you for asking after me. It's an honor to be remembered and to be called upon. Au revoir. Thank you, James. I appreciate it. Are you still there? Are you ready for the behind the scenes story? So, when I got ready to speak with James Baldwin, I did my usual preliminary research to learn a little bit about him. I went to Wikipedia, and oh my gosh, it was so dry. I couldn't really pick up much about who the man James was. So, I decided that when I spoke with him, I would invite him to allow me to trans-channel him. And he said yes. And because we had that experience, what I received from James was far deeper than what I've received in previous afterlife conversations. I felt his soul. I felt his warmth, his character, the depth, and the complex man that he was. Now, of course, I was connecting with the soul, James, who is the collective of all the lifetimes he's lived. But he was still presenting in the personality of James Baldwin. It was so incredible. I didn't feel that haunted energy that I saw in the pictures. And he was somebody who was charming, and I connected with the life that he had led of joy when he was in France, living a freer life. It was incredible. And our conversation just flowed easily and beautifully. I I hope maybe one day we'll connect again and he'll share more of himself with me. And if you have questions you'd like to ask of James, please feel free to put them in the comments. I will ask him and come back and share them with you if he has more to say. Now, the funny part of the story is that last Monday, I did my metaphysical chat live that I do once a month. During the live, I was sharing with my friends who showed up that I had a really busy week ahead of me because I had a limited number of days and I wanted to get one Black History Month interview per week for the month of February. So I was running out of days for the first week. And I was going to have to really hustle and bustle to get this done. And then magically, when I sat down to talk with James, we just connected at that deep level and the conversation flowed. It was a revelation. It was marvelous. And I can't say enough good things about him. I'm so delighted I had the opportunity to meet James. Now, I also want to point out to you that when I went looking for images of James to use for this video, I couldn't find anything in the public domain that was suitable. So I had to turn to AI. And I was struggling to get AI to come up with something that looked like James and wouldn't put people off. And then I asked it to create an image that conveyed the energy and the spirit of James. And that's when the magic happened. And I got several amazing images, one of which you have seen here in the video where he was speaking, but the others behind me. You see that one? That one's really incredible. The energy and the essence of James, it showed him in his masculine and feminine side. I didn't ask it to do that. That is just the coolest thing. And then this one, I asked it for a civil rights gathering. So that one's not the greatest, but it brings the energy that I wanted to bring to this video. And then here, this is the cover of one of James's books. And so I had these lovely images to add for you to further get the essence of James. One that I got, I described the James that I met, the warmth, the complexity, the depth of character, and the soft side, the humanity. And while it doesn't look just like James, it does look enough like him, but it looks like an enhanced, better version of him, which I just loved. And so I'll share that with you as well. So thank you for watching. I deeply appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you again soon. This is Debbra Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. Till next time, bye.